Alright guys, so yesterday we have updated the PvE tier list for June 2025 with the update of Awakened Holly Berry, as well as the addition of Sugarfly Cookie and the rework / magic candy of Raspberry Cookie as well. In today's video, we are going to be going over the PvP tier list, and then after it, I am actually going to be updating some videos for the arena meta as well. Again, I try to hold off on it a little bit because of the fact that there's just so many different comps that kind of go around in the beginning. I don't want to share some information that might work for that first day and then it disappears. So it's coming along right now, so I will update that video for you guys very soon after the PvP tier list. But the PvP tier list, at least I have a general idea of what is being used right now inside of the arena, especially in the top ranking from all of the friends and viewers that I have that share information with me as well. So let's get into it, and yeah, I will update some of the cookies because a lot of the quote-unquote meta cookies have really come down in their usage after the release of Awakened Holly Berry. Alright, so let's start with the D tier. Of course, D tier, we have the same cookies as always, except for the fact that we have taken out Raspberry, and Raspberry is going to be added into a different tier because based on from what I have tested out, she definitely is not going to be in the bottom tier, but she is not going to be that meta cookie that we kind of hope she would be, although she is an epic cookie. Alright, and the next one is going to be C tier. C tier is pretty much the same as well. B tier is also the same, except for the fact that Vampire used to be that cookie who what's in that quote-unquote meta, now has really fallen back down to that original place of B tier in my opinion. The reason, Holly Berry Cookie is just too strong. She just protects your cookies. There is really no way for that one-shotting as much as before. It really isn't worth putting in Vampire for that slot to just revive and then take advantage of that the vial as well as some insignia buff. It's just better to have Holly Berry and allow your cookies to really just survive with her buff instead. So Vampire back down to the B tier and really is completely gone from the meta now. You will probably not see Vampire much unless they're still using their old comp from before, which they will lose. Alright, next one is going to be the A tier. It's going to be from regular Holly Berry all the way down to BTS, and of course these cookies are pretty much the same as well. No real cookie here has changed in their usage. I mean, I gotta be honest, anything from S down, you really don't want to look at inside of the arena side of things. Even in the S is like a very iffy side of things. And then we have the SS, which is pretty much what you want to be looking at most of the time. Alright, next one is gonna be our S tier right over here, guys. From our pure vanilla to peppermint tier with the magic candy, of course. And this is going to be the cookies that are, still usable, viable, but probably not going to be something that you want to look towards inside of the arena if you want to start climbing. Of course, in the beginning, lower ranks and stuff like that, you can, and I will actually be updating some of these cookies like Wildberry here because of the release of Holly Berry. Awaken, I would say Wildberry can be kind of in the SS tier right now with the usage of Holly Berry. Holly Berry has really given a chance for some of these tanks to come back. Is it really viable? Not really. I would say just if you really want to test it out and really want to take advantage of the extra damage that Wildberry has gotten, then something that you can try. I mean, he did get a buff too. And then moving on to the SS tier and the meta tier. This is where I'm going to be combining these two tiers because a lot has changed. Alright, first I'm going to be moving up some cookies, and that is going to be our Elder Fairy. Alright, that is going to be one cookie that is going to be going up to the meta tier. And then I'm going to actually bringing down 4 different cookies. And that's going to be our Fire Spirit. And I'm sure you guys have already known about that. And then our Burning Spice as well. Golden Cheese as well as our Snapdragon. Alright, these particular cookies. Fire Spirit, Burning Spice, Golden Cheese, as well as Mystic Flower. Alright, I know there are some videos out there saying Mystic Flower is still meta and stuff. In my opinion, Mystic Flower is used less than Pure Vanilla Awaken, especially inside the higher ranks. Is it viable? Yes, Mystic Flower is absolutely viable. Is it weaker against Pure Vanilla Awaken? Yes, definitely. And in my opinion, the revive that you get from Pure Vanilla Awaken is just better than something like Mystic Flower. And of course, because of the fact that you have Hollyberry Awaken now, you are able to go and have Hollyberry Awaken to tank for Pure Vanilla Awaken so that he does not get one-shotted by something like Shadow Milk and the Eternal Sugar combo. And on top of that, you know, you have the Rally buff. In my opinion, the Rally buff from Hollyberry is good, but Pure Vanilla is just a little bit better in the general usage as well. And then our Cream Ferret is still holding that title as the best support in the arena because of the fact that, again, Hollyberry Awaken has allowed Cream Ferret to become viable once again because you don't die off in one shot. All right, and then I would say Snapdragon and Yeti always has a chance of coming back and being used. Again, most of these cookies right over here that I am putting right here on this side are the ones that are very, very, very viable. They're optional in a lot of different teams. Definitely just not used as much as the meta tier. All right, so just keep that in mind. These cookies, just because they're not meta, it doesn't mean that they're not used. It's just they're definitely not used as much as they were before. They're not in every single team, especially like Fire Spirit, Burning Spice, as well as Golden Cheese. You will see a lot less of than the previous seasons. And then of course the other cookies as well, they are viable. Definitely less than these particular cookies that I've mentioned previously. But they are viable for those players who are, you know, wondering like, oh, I don't have any of these cookies right here. What can I use? Some of these cookies right over here are some options that you guys do have. Rockstar definitely has fallen. Rebel has definitely fallen a lot too, because now again, Hollyberry is just so tanky, making every cookie survive. One shot is very, very hard now compared to before. Now it's going to be the good time to add Hollyberry in. Of course, Hollyberry is going to be that meta tier. Has really shaken up the arena once again after the release of Fire Spirit, Eternal Sugar, and the Shadow Milk. And that is another reason why Elder Fairy has come up. There are some stall comps that are coming out with Elder Fairy and Hollyberry. Hollyberry doesn't have taunt, right? Elder Fairy has taunt. Hollyberry has damage focus. Elder Fairy does not. So you are able to go and put these two together and really make it tanky for your team. Additional to that, they're both steel type, able to take advantage of the buffs that Hollyberry does have if you decide to use the rally buff as well, and things like that. And then of course you still have the two best damage dealer is inside of the game, one-shotting as well as a group damage, AoE damage. You have, honestly in my opinion, still the best healer right now as well as the best support, and these are going to be the ones that you most likely see a very, very, very good chunk of. It's gonna be like Hollyberry, Elder Fairy, Eternal Sugar, as well as Shadow Milk and Awaken. Very standard meta teams right now. So that is what I want to get at. Of course, I will be sharing a video on that as well with the proper topping settings. All right, next one is going to be our new cookies as well, and that's going to be our Sugar Fly. In my opinion, Sugar Fly can be in somewhere around the S tier as well. Very, very fast cooldown, but again, very weak, right? Doesn't have too much of that stat because of the fact that Sugarfly is going to be a epic cookie, especially if you don't get it up to that 5-star ascension as well. But you still have the crit damage as well as the crit percentage and things like that, so not a bad cookie, but again, most likely going to be used for something like the Epic Omni Arena once that does come back as well. All right, and then the Raspberry, I want to put, this is kind of like my personal thing, I want to put Raspberry at the SS, but only if you really use her with Hollyberry Awaken. Besides that though, it will be like the S tier. Hollyberry really allows a Raspberry to utilize the buff, as well as you are able to put a lot of debuffs onto the enemies: attack down, defense down, healing reduction, and if you do max it out, then you are able to go and remove HP shields as well, which is actually kind of big too. So that is there, but I would say Raspberry inside of the arena, there is potential, but I just feel like if that is an option, then probably people would just lean more towards using someone like Fire Spirit, someone like Elder Fairy instead. So I would say Raspberry around the S tier, SS tier, one or the other. But right now, I would say just to be a little bit on the side of like, hey, not really going to be a great option, S tier would be the place I would put it as of right now. And then of course, I would say right now the only other one that we can move around is going to be some of the super epics here. But because they are super epics, they do have higher stats, they do have a little bit better skill. I'm just going to keep them at S tier for now. But that is pretty much going to be the updated PvP tier list for June 2025. Again, I will be sharing the team video as well. Of course, just realize that still the final decision of these tier lists are based on my opinion as well as my experience, and of course it may differ compared to some other content creators as well, but just keep that in mind that we all have our opinions, we have our experience, we play in different servers as well most of the time. But yeah, that is pretty much it. We are waiting for the next release, big release, and that's going to be our Stormbringer's Crystal Gem, so we'll see how that turns the arena around as well. But yeah, Hollyberry Awakened definitely has brought back the tanks into the meta, which kind of disappeared once Eternal Sugar kind of came out. So we'll see how long this lasts, but that's it. Thanks for watching. If you have anything, please leave it down in the comments below, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.